McLaren Cars was founded in 1985 by Ron Dennis, but it was not until August 1988 that Dennis, team principal, and Gordon Murray started developing a new car. And after much effort, in 1992, the first street McLaren was released and named F1 to honor their route in racing. It was the first production car to use a complete carbon fiber reinforced polymer monocoque chassis structure. The F1's engine bay was lined in gold to protect the car's carbon fiber from the heat radiating from the engine. On March 31, 1998, the F1 set the Guinness World Record for the world's fastest production car, reaching 240.1 miles per hour, 386 kilometers an hour. In total, between 1992 and 1998, only 106 F1s were produced. McLaren F1 is considered one of the greatest supercars in the world to this day. The F1 GTR was revealed in January 1995 after McLaren and its customers saw the great potential of F1 on the track. Engine-wise, the GTR came with a new 6.1-liter Type S73 motor to replace the original S72 unit. Because air restrictors mounted on the roof intake were mandatory, power is reduced to only 600 horsepower instead of 627 horsepower like the road version. In late 1995, McLaren built 5 F1 LMs in honor of the 5 McLaren F1 GTRs that competed and finished the 1995 24 Hours of Le Mans in 1st, 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 13th places overall. The LM is based on the F1 GTR and built on the standard F1 chassis, with modifications necessary to be a road-legal car. The F1 GT was the last homologation special version of the 1995 to 1997 McLaren F1 GTR race car. Unlike the race version, the GT1 lacked the massive rear wing thanks to its longer back, which brought it the nickname Longtail. With only 3 examples built, the GT is the rarest F1 ever built. The Mercedes-Benz SLR McLaren was unveiled to the general public on November 17, 2003. The product is a collaboration between Mercedes-Benz and McLaren. When the car was developed, Mercedes-Benz owned 40% of the McLaren group. The car is the production version of the Vision SLR concept that was revealed at the 1999 North American International Auto Show. A new version of the SLR was introduced in 2006, called the 722 edition. The 722 refers to the victory by Stirling Moss and his co-driver Dennis Jerkinson in a Mercedes-Benz 300 SLR with the starting number 722 at the Mille Miglia in 1955. At the heart of the 722 edition is a 5.4-liter V8 supercharged modified to produce 650 horsepower and 605 pound-feet of torque. It can reach 62 miles per hour from a standstill in just 3.7 seconds before reaching a top speed of 209 miles per hour, faster than the standard SLR. In 2007, the Roadster version of the SLR was released. It uses the same engine as its coupe sibling. The SLR Roadster featured the same front and rear end, but a different cockpit. The SLR Stirling Moss is a limited series unveiled at the 2009 North American International Auto Show, honoring the famous British racing driver. The car is powered by a 5.4-liter supercharged V8 engine that produces 650 horsepower, enough to make the car sprint to 62 miles per hour in just 3.5 seconds before reaching a top speed of 217 miles per hour. Only 75 units were produced, and each car cost above $1 million. Between 2003 and 2009, a total of 2,157 SLRs were produced. In 2011, McLaren launched its first car after the iconic McLaren F1 back in 1992. The MP4 12C is powered by a 3.8-liter twin-turbo V8 engine that delivers 600 horsepower and 443 pound-feet of torque. By 2012, McLaren had improved a few small points to help increase the engine capacity to 625 horses. The car accelerates from 0 to 62 miles per hour in 3.1 seconds and powers on to reach a top speed of 207 miles per hour. McLaren announced the end of production of the 12C in 2014. In 2012, McLaren debuted the X-1 at the Quail, part of Pebble Beach. The car is a one-off supercar based on the McLaren 12C and built by McLaren Special Operations, the automaker's bespoke division, at the request of a customer who wanted a timeless vehicle and had classic elegance. McLaren has revealed the P1 production version at the 2013 Geneva Motor Show. P1's heart and soul is a hybrid powertrain consisting of a twin-turbo V8 3.8-liter mid-mounted engine and an electric motor, giving a combined output of 916 horsepower and a maximum torque figure of 663 pound-feet. Only 375 McLaren P1s were produced, priced from $1.15 million at the time. To celebrate the 20th anniversary of winning the 1995 24 Hours of Le Mans, McLaren introduced a track-only version of the P1, the P1 GTR. The P1 GTR's hybrid engine is rated at 1,000 horsepower, representing an 84 horsepower increase over the standard production P1. Only 58 units were made, and the price of each is more than $3.3 million. Launched in 2017, the P1 LM isn't actually built by McLaren. The company responsible for it is Lansante, which used the track-only P1 GTR as the basis. Lansante's P1 LM was developed as a spiritual successor to the McLaren F1 LM. On April 27, 2017, the prototype P1 LM beat the road car's lap record time at Nürburgring Nordschleife with 6 minutes and 43.22 seconds. Just 6 P1 LM were built, including a prototype. In 2014, the successor to the 12C was launched as the 650S. The vehicle shares the 12C's carbon fiber reinforced polymer chassis and is powered by the same 3.8-liter twin-turbocharged V8 engine, but power is increased to 650 horsepower. The top speed was 207 miles per hour, and it could accelerate from a standstill to 62 miles per hour in just 3 seconds. The McLaren 675 LT made its debut at the 2015 Geneva Motor Show, and it was the lightest and most track-oriented McLaren at the time of its launch. The LT for McLaren is similar to Superleggera for Lamborghini or the Speciale for the Ferrari. McLaren made only 1,000 units, including 500 coupes and 500 spiders. Next, the first car in McLaren's sports series, the 570S, has been revealed at the 2015 New York Motor Show. The car is geared towards day-to-day usability and drivability with increased luggage space, a larger cabin, and leather upholstery. As its name suggests, a power output of 570 horsepower. The car accelerates from 0 to 62 miles per hour in 3.2 seconds and powers on to reach a top speed of 204 miles per hour. A second Sports Series model, dubbed 540C, was unveiled at the 2015 Shanghai Motor Show. It's basically the 570S's little brother. Power is provided by the same 3.8-liter V8 twin-turbo engine found in the 570S and 650S, but down-tuned to make 540 horsepower. Completing the McLaren Sports Series is the 570 GT, a model built for increased comfort and everyday usability. It was unveiled at the 2016 Geneva Motor Show. In June 2018, McLaren unveiled a faster version of the entry-level McLaren 570S. The LT nameplate meant longtail and was inspired by the 675 LT and F1 longtail. The 3.8-liter twin-turbocharged V8 engine utilized in the 600 LT is tuned to produce a maximum power output of 600 horsepower and 457 pound-feet of torque. The car was also lighter by 212 pounds compared to the 570S. Unveiled in December 2019, the 620R is essentially the road-going version of the 570S GT4 race car. The 3.8-liter twin-turbocharged V8 delivers 620 horsepower and 457 pound-feet of torque, enough for the rear-wheel drive model to sprint to 62 miles per hour in just 2.9 seconds, to 124 miles per hour in a staggering 8.1 seconds, and has a top speed of 200 miles per hour. The McLaren 720S is the second car in the McLaren Super Series, replacing the 650S, which was unveiled at the 2017 Geneva Motor Show. Under the skin, both the coupe and convertible version cradle a twin-turbocharged 4-liter V8 that produces 720 horsepower and 568 pound-feet of torque. McLaren claims the car will blast from 0 to 62 miles per hour in just 2.9 seconds to 124 miles per hour in no more than 7.8 seconds, and has a top speed of 212 miles per hour. The McLaren 720S was named the 2019 World Performance Car by World Car Awards. Next, unveiled in March 2020, the 765 LT is a track-focused version of the 720S, and the successor to the 675 LT as a Super Series longtail car. The engine's output has been increased to 765 horsepower and 590 pound-feet of torque, enough for the car to sprint from 0 to 62 miles per hour in just 2.8 seconds, 0 to 124 miles per hour in 7 seconds. The top speed is lowered from 212 miles per hour to 205 miles per hour due to added drag created by the added high downforce parts. The Senna was the next step in McLaren's Ultimate Series range after the seniors are P1 and F1. The car was unveiled online by the brand on December 10, 2017 as a tribute to one of the greatest racing drivers in the world, Ayrton Senna. Under the engine cover is the 800 horsepower twin-turbocharged 4-liter V8, which allows this Senna to rocket from 0 to 62 miles per hour in just 2.8 seconds, from 0 to 168 miles per hour in 18.5 seconds, and has a top speed of 211 miles per hour. In total, only 500 Sennas were built, and each cost about $1 million. At the 2018 Geneva Motor Show, McLaren introduced the concept version of the track-only of the Senna, dubbed the Senna GTR. The production Senna GTR, unveiled 2 years later, has a different bodywork from the concept. Engine power was increased to 825 horsepower, and it's also 22 pounds lighter than the regular Senna. Only 75 were produced, with a not-so-cheap price of $1.65 million. Another special variant of the Senna was released in December 2020, known as Sabre. The hypercar was designed by the manufacturer's McLaren Special Operations Division specifically for the U.S. According to McLaren, production is limited to just 15 units, and each customer had a hand in designing the car. Sabre's price can be as high as $3.5 million, a massive number. With 824 horsepower and 590 pound-feet of torque on tap, the Sabre will reach a top speed of 218 miles per hour. That makes it the fastest ever two-seat McLaren. In 2018, McLaren introduced the Speedtail. The car is the fourth addition to the McLaren Ultimate Series after the Senna, the P1, and the F1. The Speedtail boasts 1,050 horsepower thanks to a hybrid powertrain consisting of a 4-liter twin-turbocharged V8 and a single electric motor. McLaren claims that the car can sprint from 0 to 186 miles per hour in just 12.8 seconds and has a top speed of 250.4 miles per hour, 403 kilometers an hour. McLaren will only make 106 units of the Speedtail, which is precisely the same number of F1 models ever built for the road. The GT was first announced at the 2019 Geneva Motor Show. It's the company's first dedicated Grand Tourer. McLaren has equipped the GT with a twin-turbocharged 4-liter V8 that generates 620 horsepower and 465 pound-feet of torque. The company claims that the coupe sprints from 0 to 60 miles per hour in 3.1 seconds and has a top speed of 203 miles per hour. The McLaren Elva is a limited production model inspired by open-top racers that the legendary Bruce McLaren designed in the late 60s. It's also the fifth edition in the McLaren Ultimate Series. The Elva is claimed to be the lightest sports car ever produced by McLaren. Only 249 units will be produced, and the price is about $1.7 million. In 2021, McLaren Automotive has created a version with a windshield for the Elva. Announced on November 23, 2020, McLaren Artura is the first McLaren to use a V6 engine. It was also developed on the new carbon fiber chassis called MCLA. The Artura uses an all-new 3-liter twin-turbocharged V6 engine paired with an electric motor to produce a total of 680 horsepower and 531 pound-feet of torque. The performance figures are impressive as the hybrid car takes just 2.9 seconds to accelerate to 62 miles per hour, 8.3 seconds to 124 miles per hour, and has a top speed of 205 miles per hour. Which is your favorite McLaren of all time? Could you let me know in the comments section below? Thanks for watching. See you next time.